Trainer Confidential. So we had the last show of the year, the Bigman Weekend. So yep, we're done for 2024 anyway.
Officially
Uh,
closed.
Akeem won that show, so he's set up for the 25 Olympia, which is awesome. He's been working his ass off, and it shows. Uh, so I'm gonna go over
It's
some.
that conditioning is showing, dude.
Yeah, yeah, it is. So I'm gonna bring up pics of that right off the bat here. Okay, so this was the show. So we had Horse MD in second. We had Amir in third and Mark Hector in fourth. Uh yeah, pretty good lineup, but Akeem just sticks out. He just sticks out. Akeem is a big dude.
Yeah.
Well, so is Amir and so is Horse MD. Uh, but Akeem, he's got that tight waist. He had everything he needed to win. So, and that's what counts. So now, hopefully he powers down for the year and concentrate on the Olympia. I mean, I
Yeah.
could I could see him a top 10 Olympian easy.
What about top six?
Top six,
Bit of a stretch right now.
I think so, yeah. Uh,
Okay.
a few months, ask me then. But yeah, I think it might be. But you never know. I mean, Horse MD, he's his he's big and he's got the freak factor, but he needs that conditioning. He needs that, unfortunately his waist is not as tight. But
Hmm.
he's got a freak factor to him, and he's always doing well, but and same thing with Amir too. Amir. But I mean, look at that shot there for Akeem. Ab and thigh.
Good shot.
Like he's got a tiny, tiny waist.
I like the guy next to him too out there on the end.
Yes, yes. Mark Hector. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. Both of them. They got the smallest waist on stage. So yeah, good show. Last show for the year.
Congrats, Akeem.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm happy to see him on the Olympia stage. Horse MD's getting a little crazy there. So that was important for him to get his placing there. Next I want to talk about Samson. So this is 13 and a half weeks out from the Arnold. Samson is 335 pounds right now, or 25,
Wow.
one of the two. And what he had said was, he's been that weight before, but he said he had to really fight to keep that weight.
Yeah.
And this year, it's just coming natural. So his body is adjusting, his body is
Yeah.
getting used
He's
to
yeah,
the
he's grown
physique.
into it.
Yeah, which is exciting. Very exciting. So Hadi Chupon was supposed, I thought he was going to do the Arnold, but he's not going to do the Arnold. Uh, so I don't see anybody that's gonna beat Samson. Now, maybe Derek Lunsford's gonna jump in. That'd be cool if he did.
I don't see why not.
I don't see why he wouldn't. Because remember, the prize money's a lot more this year.
Yeah.
So we'll see about that when it happens. But I think as of now, I think Samson has won the most money out of all the bodybuilders. Most prize money.
Hmm.
He's at like $1.7 million right now. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be 2 million after this Arnold. Hmm.
That's right. It will be too. So yeah, Samson, he's definitely my favorite bodybuilder. He always has been. Love the guy. Yeah, he's not done yet, man. He's not done yet.
Oh yeah,
but
he's still a young man.
he's still young and he's still growing. He's still he's still filling out, you know. But we got a lot of competition these days. A lot of competition.
Yeah, if he get if the level of his conditioning matches the level of his size and stuff, oh yeah, he's
Oh, lights out. Lights out.
yeah.
Lights out. Yeah.
Let's see.
So
We'll see what he brings in 2025.
we will. We will.
He just can't. He simply just can't bring the same package.
No.
Something. He's got to bring something different.
Yep. Yep.
Something. It doesn't have to be like huge, but just something, an extra wrinkle in his package.
Yep. 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 I'm thinking the conditioning is where it's going to be at. I think he's just going to dial in his conditioning more than he has. I mean, you know, and that's really all he can do. I don't think he needs to get any bigger, to be honest with you. He just needs to dial in that conditioning at this
Yeah,
point.
based on the. I mean, he doesn't like you said. He doesn't really need to get bigger.
No.
So, all he needs to do is just stay tight and I'd say probably stay within that 12-week range. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
Make that lean out phase as short as possible.
Hmm. So yeah, exciting stuff. So one thing I want to talk about today is medical stuff and myself. So I have a I have a thing. I don't like to complain. I don't like to complain. And I don't like to complain and a lot of it has to do with you, you know. I watch you do your prep and, do all this stuff. I tear your tricep and I don't hear you complain. You know what I mean? And watching you do that, with me going through prep and doing all the same stuff, it's just like, I can't complain because you don't, and that's kind of where my mind's at with that. But this time around, I was gonna do nationals
Mm-hmm.
and a week into my prep and nationals, I had threw out my shoulder. So, it started off and it was just a pain. So I took I think a week off, from the gym or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
And the pain went away and I go back to the gym and every pushing movement I could do on my left arm, I had no strength. There was nothing there. My muscles weren't firing off. So, I remember I had a nightmare one night and I woke up in the middle of the night and I even came back and told my wife, I'm like, babe, I lost my chest is gone. My left chest is gone. And I wake up next morning, I'm like, oh, it's a dream. And I tell her it's a dream. And I go back and I look in the mirror, wasn't a dream. So in less than a month, I lost all of my upper chest on the left side. I lost all of my left delt or rear delt. I lost all of my left tricep and all of my left lat. All the right side was fine, but those particular muscles were gone in less than a month. So what had happened, it took me a while to go through the gauntlet of medical stuff and MRIs and whatnot. And turns out, I don't know, I threw out my shoulder. So for whatever reason, my nerves were pinched in my neck. So next step, I had nerve conductor tests and all that kind of stuff. And the next step was surgery. So I've been waiting a little over 6 months for all this to go down. If you guys haven't noticed, I'm in sweatshirts. You won't catch me in a in a
Yeah.
razorback,
Yeah.
nothing like
Yeah.
that. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm hiding. So and I can't train. I mean, I can train, but it's not the I'm not
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
I'm not used to going into the gym and being disappointed because that's never happened in my life ever. And I can't do any pushing movements. So I can do legs, I can do a few things, but in the grand scheme of things, I just can't get over the psychological thing of, well, if I do legs, well, I got to do back, and I got to do this, and I can't.
Yeah, I know it's got to be a mind screw, that's for sure.
And yeah, it just screwed up my mind big time. So this whole time I just been waiting for a surgery date. I got a surgery date on the 16th of this month, which is awesome. So I didn't want to say nothing. I mean, most of my well, damn near all of my friends and family, they don't know about my injury. I don't tell anybody that. Again, I don't like to complain. So uh nobody knows about it except the people close to me. You know about it. My wife knows about it, but it's just a handful full of people that know about it.
Yeah, yeah,
My home gym, nobody knows about it there. But at any rate, I'm not done yet, obviously. And a little history. I know a lot of videos back. I started off. I was a bad guy for a lot of years, very bad guy. Went to prison, uh, did the drug thing. I mean, I'm not going to get into really what I did, but very bad things. I was a bad guy, and I conquered that with the gym. I went to prison and I picked up those weights in the prison yard, and from that point on, I was hooked. This is going to be my replacement for the drugs and the lifestyle, and it worked. And so with anything in life, I hit everything head on. I don't screw around. I hit it as hard as possible, whether it's drugs, whether it's whatever it is. And so in this case, that worked great for bodybuilding. It turned out I had some genetics on my side too, which I didn't know about. Awesome, right? So, goal is to get my pro card, and I really think I would have got it this year if that hadn't happened. But anyway, it happened. So it was a setback. And at that point, the mind really was screwing with me. So I what I did was I replaced it with work. I just work constantly, just work, 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 and uh, that's not good. Uh, at any rate, uh, I didn't know what to do. Okay, so I mean, I have my outlet, and a little bit about me. I'm a very angry person. I have a lot of skeletons in the closet. Well, I wouldn't say skeletons. I'm just I need to get out a lot of rage, and that's what the gym worked for me, and that's why I was so good at it.
yeah. It was your escape.
I go in there and I get all that out, in the right way,
Yeah,
and now all of a sudden I can't do that no more. So uh, I was just hanging on by a thread, really. I was hanging on by a thread, not saying that I'd go back to a drug lifestyle or anything like that. That wouldn't happen, but I just depression was really high, whether I showed it or not. I try not showing it, but I'm sure it was seen. But anyway, so I got this date now, and I see myself in the gym in January. I mean, as early as late January, I see myself in the
mm-hmm,
gym.
mm-hmm.
I also see myself competing in nationals this next year if everything goes right. So the surgery is it's a C7. So what they got to do is basically one of the nerves is basically severed off. So I'm not getting any my wiring is messed up, so it's making those muscles not work. They just don't work. So my body doesn't even know I have muscles there basically. So of course, training and doing whatever I'm doing, it's cannibalizing those muscles and feeding the rest, obviously, because that's what happens. And that's how I lost some muscle tissue. Well, so that happened, and God, it was horrible. But anyway, they're gonna go in there. I don't have just the one thing wrong. I have a lot of things wrong in my neck. So what they're going to do is they're going to basically hollow out the neck and they're going to get there's some other stuff going and I don't really understand the medical, what they're I don't really understand
Yeah,
it fully,
yeah,
but it's not just the lack of muscles working. There's more to it. So they're going to go in there and fix all of it. But it's going to require a plate in my neck. They're going to have to put a plate in my neck. So, which is fine. It's going to restrict my movement a little bit, with moving my head around, which, not a big deal to me. But yeah, so it's an overnight surgery. It's kind of a big surgery from what they were telling me.
yeah. I would
Uh,
assume that, yeah, it would be.
which isn't I'm not nervous about that in any way. Nothing like that. I'm just very excited to get this moving. If I had an end date, months ago, I could have in my mind, you know, appeased myself and got rid of some of that depression. It's just like for me, I need an end date, whether it's prep
Yeah.
or whatever it is in life. I need to know there's a good day right there that it's all going to stop
Okay.
and things are going to get better. Now I got the
Okay, I
date.
get that.
Now I'm good. So I got some prep to do for the surgery, which it's in 2 weeks now. So that's awesome. I have a protocol that I'm going to do after surgery, which the doctors. I'll just put it this way: I'm gonna heal like Wolverine. The doctors are going to be amazed how fast I'm going to heal. So yeah. Anyway, I wanted to throw that out there. I didn't want to say anything until I had an end date, until I had a way to fix this because in my so far in my life and my well, I'm not going to call it a career, but my achievements in bodybuilding, people have looked up to me for the simple fact of where I came and where I'm at now.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I was
I see
uh I
that.
was a junkie. I weighed 160 pounds, and then all of a sudden I'm, 250 pounds and shredded and just, you know, and that's what people expect from me. And that's what I expect from myself. And then all of a sudden this happens. So anyway, it would have been easier for me if I had like a neck brace or something that I could wear when I go into the
Yeah,
gym and people be
yeah.
like, "Man, he hurt himself, but he's still in the gym, right?" But
Mm.
here I'm in the gym with nothing on and people don't realize, and I don't know.
Right.
Who knows what people are thinking, like, "Damn, that dude really went downhill," and who knows what people are thinking, but I don't really care what people think on that end because this is going to be a recovery that's gonna blow minds, I think. So
Okay, yeah. I can see
I'm
that.
I'm going to do all this, and I'm gonna go to nationals next year, and that's just it, man.
Because the thing about, like I said, it's gonna depend. A lot of it's gonna depend on the surgery.
Mhm.
Because post surgery, like I said, we've already got everything set up. All the infrastructure is already in place.
Yeah.
And me personally speaking, I think all you need is about 10 to 12 weeks of full count training.
Yep. Yep.
You
Yep.
know, yeah, that's it. We're going to take it just a little bit at a time. We'll take your normal prep, the way we normally train, the whole 9 yards,
Mhm.
and we will just take what the body gives us. Each time you just move it up a little bit more. That's all it is.
That's right.
The loads
That's
go up a
right.
little bit, the volume will go up a little bit. Okay, and then we'll just have to see how fast this goes.
Yeah. Yep.
But once we get the full count training, once we get back to that point, or even close to it, 10 weeks is all we're going to need.
Yeah. Yeah.
10 weeks,
So
especially if your body's responding the way it normally would. Yeah, 10 weeks is all we're going to need, dude.
and the other thing is too, after this happened, I'm not on diet. I'm not on an off-season diet. I'm just eating, I still eat about 5, 6 times a day, but it's crap food. Some of it's good, but I don't have a structured diet right now. And I did that for a couple reasons. Well, for one reason, one major reason is a reset to my body.
Right,
Okay. Because now I'm going to be, once those nerves work and the muscles work, I'm going to shock the shit out of the body.
right.
And I'm going to feed it. Like it forgot, it's going to remember because muscle memory, but my body had forgotten what I was doing to it before. And when I do that again, it's going to go, "Oh yeah." You know what I mean? "Oh
Yeah,
yeah. I remember that." And it's going to get me right back there. And the other thing about it is I also see, the plateau that I was at, which if I was at a plateau, which I think I was, I see reaching that plateau and stepping a little beyond that too, just because of the reset. Uh, so anyway, yeah, that's what's going on. And
yeah. We'll keep everybody abreast of that.
yeah, yeah,
Right now, the thing we're looking at now is the surgery.
yeah, yep,
Okay. All right.
yep,
And then the aftermath of the surgery. We'll know within about a couple of weeks on how this thing's going to go.
for sure. Yeah, yeah,
Remember now, we're only going to take what the body gives us.
yep, yep,
You know,
yep.
we got our timeline, but the body's got its timeline, and we got to abide by that timeline.
One thing about being a bodybuilder is our body is used to fixing itself.
Yeah.
So we heal faster than normal people anyway.
Right.
And the other thing about it is, I'm not going to go crazy right off the bat. Like you said, I'm going to give what the body can give. Okay, so it's just like when you tore your tricep, you weren't
I did. Yeah.
max load right
I
off the
did the
bat,
same thing. The
and the
doc
doc
was.
and the doctor even said something to you, right? When you went in there, like you shouldn't be doing that. And you're like,
Yeah. He's like, I wasn't expecting you to be doing this for another 6 months.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, look, doc, I'm only taking what the body gives me. Okay.
exactly,
I'm not going to do anything crazy. You know.
exactly.
But yeah. So,
So
and
that
that's what we're going to do here.
that's where we're at, man. That's where we're at. So yeah, it was exciting news. Took me forever to get that news, but I wanted to throw that out there and let everybody know. If you guys are experiencing something like that, these are minor setbacks, man. They're minor setbacks. I know you had the setback with your legs, and your knees,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you
Moderate
almost quit.
arthritis, and I tore my meniscus on.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say which leg, but I tore my meniscus.
yeah, and your legs are one of your best body parts now. So there's ways to work around it. There always is, unless you're paralyzed. If you're paralyzed, you're kind of,
Well, yeah,
that's a little
yeah.
different. But if you can still walk and move your arms, we can still get where we want to get. Period. So, if anybody's out there experiencing something like that, some pain issues, mobility issues, and all that, you gotta just wait it out. You gotta wait it out, man. If this is what you like to do, you're going to do it, right? You're gonna do it. It's gonna happen.
Hmm.
You just gotta wait. It's just that time factor, and that time factor is hard for a bodybuilder because we want results so quick. We have body parts we want to bring up in before next show and this and
Hmm.
that, and we
Hmm.
can do that because we're bodybuilders, but we also got to be realistic and stuff happens, turns out with me cuz my shoulder, my shoulder basically looks like a gear. I've got so many bone spurs in my shoulder.
Ah,
So, and that is what it is. And now that I haven't been lifting, I'm getting pains all over the place, especially in my shoulder,
yeah.
So that muscle was keeping everything together, basically, Uh, so, it's a necessity. But, I had two back surgeries when I was in my early 20s. I was paralyzed for, about 3 weeks, paralyzed in a wheelchair,
Hmm.
until I think that was my second surgery, my second back surgery, and got that surgery, and then got addicted to drugs, did the prison thing, blah blah blah. And then the minute I hit those weights, I don't have back problems anymore. You know, I don't have back problems. Every once in a while, I'll be a little sore. I'll throw it
Uh-huh.
out for a day,
Yep.
something like that, but nothing major. I've never had a major injury in the gym, except for this, and that my joints and my bones. They don't want to take up the load that my muscles do. My muscles can handle it, but my joints and bones,
Mm-hmm.
they can't. So we just got to work around that. That's all.
Yep.
And that's easy money. I already know what to do. We know what to do. So
And we'll
so
keep
yeah,
everybody abreast.
yep, yep. So that was the big news I wanted to share. I'm not done. We're not done. If we're still walking, we're still training.
And as a matter of fact, the war calendar goes up probably in another week or so.
Yep, yep.
Our war calendar is going to go up, so we'll take a look at the timelines, the whole 9 yards, see what happens.
So I may want to, depending on how everything goes, I may want to do a pre-show uh before I do Pittsburgh, but we'll see how that works out. I think a pre-show would be a good idea. Something like I don't know, just a small show, whatever.
Hmm.
Emerald Cup, I'm definitely going to do. So Emerald Cup could be the pre-show.
Okay.
But yeah, that's where we're at, and it's kind of what we came up to as a conclusion. So anyway, guys, if you have any issues like that, uh, drop a comment.
Yeah, share it with us.
Yeah, we can. There's always a way to work around it, man. If this is what you love to do, you got to have it. You can't take that away. You just can't. And if it comes to the point where it is taken away, you physically can't do it no more, then you just stay in the sport. You train people. You surround yourself. It's like you're retiring from lifting, but you're not retiring from bodybuilding, right?
Right,
Because
right,
you
right.
got information you can
Yeah,
send somebody
yeah,
else.
you're retired from competing,
Yes, yes,
but you're not retiring from training.
that's right.
Right.
So, any rate, that's all I wanted to say. We will see you next week. Thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. And yeah, any comments, man, let me know. And yeah, that's a wrap.
All righty.
Later, Donnie.
Yep.